For the third year in a row, racing teams from all over the world come to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway to partake in one of the fastest growing stock car races in the US and maybe even the world. They seek the glory of victory in the Sony 400. And the event continues to grow even further, as this year we find ourselves with the largest entry list in Insomniac Elite Series history at a whopping 107 drivers and teams. The entrants are going to be put through a series of heat races to find only the best to partake in this year's event. Now, I will be going through this in detail because things are a little different this time around with how much the entry list has grown over the past years. Firstly, there will be 4 heat races this year, double from the 2 of years past. 24 cars in each heat race, and the starting order is going to be determined by a random draw. You'll see the starting order for each of those heats coming up on your screen right now as I continue to go through it. Top 7 finishers from each heat race will advance to the feature. And something new this year is a last chance qualifier, something a lot of drivers and teams have been clamoring for a while now. So if you don't get through to the heat races, you don't get into the feature, you have a second chance. Now, the last chance qualifier, the starting grid in that race will be determined by the drivers' finishing positions in their heat race. And since Indianapolis is already heavy on shuffling, there wasn't too many worries about the inside and outside. So odd-numbered heats. So drivers in odd-numbered heats will be on the inside, and drivers in even-numbered heats will be on the outside. So say if you finish second, if you finish like 9th in Heat 1, you will start 3rd for your last chance qualifier. And if you were to say finish 3rd in Heat 2, you would start 6th. I'm sure that makes plenty of sense. But now, the top 2 finishers in those LCQs will move on to the 400 as well. So all in all, that would be 4. That'd be 4 cars going through the LCQs to join everyone else in the main. Now, of course, same as years past. The same as years past, however, is of course the top 10 in points coming into this race are locked into the event. They do not have to go. They do not have to go through the heat races. They are safe. And for a refresher, those drivers are as follows: Ryder Smith, Sean Angel, Kyle Collins, Chris Louvier, Charles Sanford, Seth Cole, James Shelley, Maxwell Chan, Cosmic Nova, and Matt Duncan. They are all safe. They already have a guaranteed spot in the race. They will not be in these heat races. Everyone else, though, they will have to fight hard in the heat races. And just to give you a little glimpse of just how large the event is this year, 65 drivers will be going home. 65. That's more than half. Less than half the teams that have showed up this week will actually get to participate in the event. That's good. That should really put into perspective just how difficult it will be to make the race this year. I'm sure y'all are anticipating these heat races. It's going to be wild. It's going to be exciting, and I shouldn't hold people back any longer. So why don't we get down to the track for the start of the Sony 400 heat races. So, DJ Curtis has drawn the pole for the first of the 4 heats. On his outside, it is Australian Jack Halleck for Flying Aces International, not a series regular. We got a few offs got one off there. Benoit Laferravine, Jason Evans, he's a part-time driver. He's run a few races. Chris August-Smith, Tristan Wilhoit, they're series regulars. Alex Perkle, Aiden Shepard. Then we got William Duncan and Ray Krager rounding out your top 10 there. DJ Curtis, he's a reigning champion of the Sony 400. He really wants to get into this race to help out his championship bid. He really needs those points, so this race will be crucial, and this pole could be important. It's going to help, and there's the green flag. We're green. We're rocking it, Indy. dead even off the start. Benoit Ravine, he's already looking underneath the 78. Well, he peeked underneath him. Not gonna make the move. 3 wide at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Not a good idea. It's very fast, very tight racing, and there's really only one good line. So, trying to go 3 wide is suicide around here. DJ Curtis holds the lead. As we head into turns 3 and 4, Chris Argus Smith, he's looking for second underneath the 61. And you lose a lot of time when battling, and you see it right here as Curtis pulls a bit of a gap over the rest of the field. However, don't expect that to last. The power in a draft is extremely powerful around here. And that's the end of the first lap. Argus Smith goes underneath Alex Perkle. He's had a good start. He's up to third place. So yeah, fantastic start for the Louisiana native. He's not had a good year. He wants to try and get into the show. And William Duncan and Stavros Dimitriou in one of the Skytech racing cars. That is a brand new manufacturer for this week. Subaru trying to make their debut. This is the first time Subaru's ever participated in an Elite Series event. And they're trying to make the show. Perkle slides up. He loses positions to Duncan and Angel Navarro in an unsponsored number 000 car. And that, yeah, Angel Navarro up to 4th, and now Dimitriou moves up past the 28, and I think it's going to open up the floodgates. That 28 doesn't have a lot of power, and it's going to, and it shows. Yeah, Alex Perkle already starting to fall back. Dimitriou moves up, and then behind him is David Valzak. Yes, that's a series earlier. Oh, contact is in the back. Danny Everett and Mark Holbert both went into the wall. No spin, so no yellow, but that's going to slow both of them down. I think they may have damage. I don't see any damage on the 56, but definitely a setback. You can see he's lost a lot of ground. He's also held up a few people. Martinez, Sanders, Larry Martin, Carl Jasper Jr., they've all been held up. Mark Holbert does have damage, and wow, Jack Halleck and Jason Evans are already back here after starting at the front. I mean, that tells you how extreme the shuffling can be here, but it also tells that they may not have the setup right on those cars. They may be struggling a bit in the corners. No, at the front, DJ Curtis still holds the lead. That may not be a top budget, he not be like a AAA budget car, but he knows his track well. And like I said, after all, he won here last year. He is he's the reigning champion of the Sony 400. He's going to lose the lead though. William Duncan, to the point, he's only made one start in his part-time bid so far this year. However, I forgot to mention. I've mentioned a few times before throughout the year, did not mention the pre-race. The Sony 400 does count for a PT Cup, and the Insomniac Championship night will also count. Part-time drivers are granted free access to that event too. It's going to be over capacity for the first time in series history. But yeah, if you're a part-time driver, you're running for the PT Cup, and you make this race, if you finish in the top 30, and you will score points for that. So this and the Insomniac Championship night can be the most important rounds of the PT Cup. So you gotta keep that in mind as Duncan, he's pushing that car. He does not want to miss out. Does not want to miss out on this event. DJ Curtis playing it smart. He knows that 97 is fast. He's just hanging back and drafting the Viagra Ford. And that's a very good strategy. Argus Smith in third, Angel Navarro in fourth. Absolutely fantastic stuff off the bat here. That is a pretty underfunded team, but Navarro punching above his weight so far. David Valzak, he's trying to get the Boost Auto Sport car in the field. Valzak's never made the field for the Sony 400. I know, Valzak's been racing since 2014. He's raced in the series since 2014. He's never qualified for the Sony 400. He wants to make this year the first. Meanwhile, someone who passed him, someone who is trying to make her first Sony 400, but has a lot of experience at this racetrack. That is Amy Shelley, a two-time Sony IndyCar Series champion. She now races in Formula. She now has moved on to Formula X. Mercedes is going to be trying to make their debut in the series, and they brought a very promising lineup. Basically, they brought both of Raven West's drivers in the Formula X series. So yes, you'll be seeing the stock car debut. You're seeing the stock car debut of Amy Shelley right now, and you're going to be seeing Ben Thompson hopping into one. And, oh, Navarro! Navarro's going to try and pass Arthur Smith for third. Good stuff there. And sorry, I'm noticing Demetrio is very fast. That Subaru, the Skytech Subaru there, yeah, the IBM Subaru there. Demetrio looking very fast so far, and he's very young too. I believe he's only 18 years of age. He's only 18 years of age. A very young Greek driver there, and he is very fast. Second fastest lap of the heat so far. And Navarro, the floodgates kind of open there. He's got to watch his route for Arthur Smith, and William Brock trying to make the race. And Benoit Lefebvre still holding on. Aiden Shepard, he's not had a good year. He wants to make the field for this race. And then Marcelo Bekele. And here comes the other two TRU cars. All three Talger Racing Unit cars are in this heat. And you're seeing them right here, the other two, Danny Everett, who is trying to make a comeback after that early incident, and Phyllis Theodore, she drew the short end of the stick. She started last race. And look at that! Everett and Brock almost made contact. Everett was pushing the 22 up the racetrack. That tells you how serious he is. He is driving very aggressively, and this is probably Everett's best racetrack by far. Don't forget, he won the first Sony 400 back in 2015 at the age of 17. And he is looking, like now he is 20. Well, actually, he's 19. He turns 20 in November. So yeah, still a very young driver, who's learning, and a young learning driver there. And yet he's been in the Elite Series for 3 years now. It tells you something, just how unique Everett is. But he is pushing forward, and he's gonna be trying to get past Aiden Shepard. That is for a transfer spot. Right now, he is in the race, and Demetrio's breaking away. He's broken away from Amy Shelley and Angel Navarro, so that's looking very good. Aiden Shepard's in 6th. This right here is the battle for the final transfer spot. Danny Everett and Ray Krager. Now, Ray Krager made this race last year. He finished in the top 5. Krager has a pretty good history at this racetrack, and he wants to make the field, get a good result to jumpstart his season. It's been a bit of a shaky start to his rookie campaign. He comes this race outside of the top 10 in points. I think he's like only just in the top 15. I think he's 15th or 16th. So yeah, Krager, he's not had the best season so far, but he's looking to make the most of things here. Now field starts to spread out. DJ Curtis and William Duncan, they're battling for I think they must be pretty confident of their safety to make the field now. They're now just battling for bragging rights to try and win this heat race. No bonus points, it's just bragging rights. But yeah, they've got a pretty sizable gap. You just gotta be careful to not bring everyone else too close to you. DJ's still hanging back there. Of course, DJ Curtis, that team, they're coming off a big morale boost after the rough season they've been having. They are coming off their first top 10 finish of the year in Watkins Glen. So yeah, they're on a high right now, and they're looking to get that 78 car into the 400. It'll be Shell United Motors' first Sony 400. And yeah, Curtis once again just drafting the 97. Meanwhile, Mark Holbert has not really recovered from his incident. He is back in 24th place right now. The 5 car seems to be struggling a bit. He's not really comfortable. Yeah, Holbert is complaining of some handling issues. The car is pushing a bit, and this could be a bit rough for him. He won his heat race last year. This is not what he was looking for at all. Holbert is tapped to join S3 Motorsports full-time next year. And we'll see. And then we'll see this guy back here. That's Larry Martin. Roger Stanley Racing, they showed up to the track. It's a bit of a underfunded team known for the late models. You kind of see it's supposed to be a 9 car, and it kind of taped the 0 on there. Hey, 9 was taken, so they had to get a little creative. Hey, it's legal. It's legal. So just Larry Martin, he is Yeah, Larry Martin, he's a late model driver. He has some experience in the USSCA Gatorade Series. He has ambitions to race in the Cup Series next year. You should probably look at a team with a better budget. 4 laps to go at the line. Right now, the final transfer spot is held by Aiden Shepard in the Young Motorsports machine. And there's Ray Krager. He's got past Angel Navarro for 5th. That might hurt his speed a little bit. Shepard's trying to hang on. He's watching his rear view, trying not to lose his cool. He is a rookie. This is the first time he's ever raced at the hallowed grounds of Indianapolis. And behind him, it is Phyllis Theodore. And Phyllis Theodore trying to make a statement. She's been looking. She wants to impress. She's not a great year. She's wanting to impress, make a statement that she is here to stay. She deserves a ride in this series, maybe a better one. But she's trying to get in through the heats. And I think she's just waiting for the perfect moment to strike. 3 laps to go now, and Angel Navarro starting to slip back. That's an underfunded team, and he's really doing his best to hang on. But I don't know if it will be enough. We'll see. He's kind of fading, but here comes Phyllis Theodore. She peaks. Nothing yet. Behind her, you can see these guys: David Valzak, Carl Jasper Jr., William Brock, Danny Everett, not up here. Neither is Tristan Wilhoit or Sofia Martinez, trying to make her debut in the Mod Free Motorsports machine. Now you see a full-time driver there, Chris Dodd. Chris Argus Smith, you can see him back there too. He's faded. And yes, Shepard creeping ever closer to the 000. Shepard wants a buffer. He's absolutely not going to be comfortable behind the 15. The TRU's kind of been struggling for handling, but you know one thing they're good at? Drafting. Those cars are still fast in a straight line. You put them on a super speedway, and they're going to be very tough to beat. So Shepard wants to get a car in between him and Theodore, and there he goes underneath the 000. He pushes up a little bit. Not too much. And Theodore almost gets into the 000. She takes advantage. And she's going to fly past him. And that's Theodore swiping the transfer spot away from Navarro. Navarro's going to try and get back up there as the white flag is out. Navarro's trying to get underneath the 15. It's really trying to get underneath there. Nothing doing so far. I don't know if he's going to do it or not. He does have a shot. Only one more shot though. Turns 3 and 4. Ray Krager, he's in right now. But, up at the front, William Duncan and DJ Curtis, they settle down. They're drafting. They just want to get through to the race. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Off the final corner, William Duncan is going to win heat number 1 in pretty convincing fashion. DJ Curtis comes home in second, but here we go, across the stripe, Theodore does beat Navarro to take 7th. Stavros Dimitriou, very impressive run in the IBM 04 car there, and he will be giving Subaru, and Subaru will be making their first start in the Insomniac Elite Series, and the 18-year-old Greek driver, he's got to be ecstatic. He's going to make the field. Amy Shelley, Sony IndyCar champ, Formula X alumni. Now an Insomniac Elite Series race starter. She'll be giving Mercedes their series debut as well. Ray Krager makes the show once again in the 17. Aiden Shepard, not a great year, but he'll be making the field as well. And Phyllis Theodore swipes the final transfer spot away from Angel Navarro. As we move on to heat number 2. Another of the SkyTech Racing Subarus is on the pole. That is Stephen Jefferson, a 21-year-old from Canada. He'll be leading the field down to the green. On his outside is Jack Benton for Horton Motorsports. Then we have Alan Cavagnaro, Mark LaFerravine, and another of the Trailblazer BMWs. Ellie Nelson, Sony IndyCar Series champ Scott Roush. He's won here before in an open wheeler. Madeline Adkins, Alex Constantine, Chris Magnuson, and Timur DeLise round out your top 10. The pace car is in, and Jefferson, he wants to make 2 SkyTech cars in the field. He's going to try and make his series debut. As the pace car is in, we wait for the drop, and there's the green. Heat number 2 is underway. And Stephen Jefferson with a fantastic start. He's caught the 57 sleeping, although that car may just not be getting going, because like I said, that car, that's a very underfunded team. They don't have the power. And oh, Benton almost cuts off the 96. Yeah, you don't want to cut off Allie Nelson at Indianapolis in the first 2 corners of Indianapolis. Yeah, he moves over. Nelson gets past, and now Cavagnaro already off to a good start. He is flying right out the gate, and he's looking underneath the old free, and Nelson follows suit. And she is right on the 20's back bumper. Scott Roush looking underneath the 7 and the 57, and he's got to make it free wide. Free wide for the 4th spot. Adkins and Benton, they're going to rub against each other. And Scott Roush, he backs out of that wisely, but yeah, Scott Roush taking no prisoners as he tries to get himself into the field. Cavagnaro, Nelson, and Jefferson are going to break away. It's a 3-car breakaway in the front of the field. Adkins and Roush fighting for position back there. And Cavagnaro makes the field. Oh, big crash! Paul Swanson in a catch fence. Brandon Wood, Kyle Schock Jr., Rick Boudreau, they're all involved. Oh no, that was a massive crash. That was a vicious crash. Paul Swanson, the 00 for Ian Masterson Racing. Yeah, he just bounced off that catch fence, and that car was practically torn apart. That catch fence was torn apart. What a fucking wreck. What a wreck. That is just... Oh, Reese Black getting into Mark LaFerre ravine there. That's a little, interesting. But, yeah. Oh, these cars, they're have to pull it down. Red flag in the air. Alright, well, here's a look at what happened. We are centered on the number 74 Saya Ford of Brandon Wood. Now, you look up there, you see that, like, the Ream Toyota there, the rookie stripes, that's Paul Swanson. Now we're gonna get in here, and you want to keep an eye on that. You're gonna want to keep an eye on that white, red, and blue car there, the Kroger Click List Audi. That is Glenn Lafioska. Brandon Wood, he's gonna look underneath the 00. Lafioska charges in. He pushes up. Wood could not see him coming, and Lafioska and Wood, they're gonna get together, and Paul Swanson's there as well. They're gonna fly up, and they squish the 00 against the wall, heavily damaging the roof, and you're going to see the 00 bounce off the catch fence as well, ripping the catch fence apart as he comes back down to the ground. And that was, honestly, the slow motion doesn't do it justice. That was a utterly vicious crash. You can see the Wood comes to a stop. Lafioska, Kyle Schock Jr., Rick Boudreau, their races are all but over, and they'll have to go for the LCQ. But Paul Swanson, yeah, very heavy wreck. We're gonna take a look at that from a few other angles. Well, this is a pretty good angle. You're gonna see the mole cam here, full speed, and there it goes. Oh, God, that impact was just violent. That was a brutal impact. You'll see us up here. We're pulling our data up here. We want to give you a good look at just how serious this was. You're just, like, gonna go frame by frame, and he gets squished. He was already going 173 miles an hour. He gets squished into the wall by Wood and Lafioska. I was like, Wood, he was going over 170 miles an hour, and he squeezes that car into the wall, driver's side, and then you see Lafioska, he also kind of squeezed the car. He hit the car in the front. I'm pretty sure that the combination of those two impacts is what launched the 00. So yeah, the front end of that car, and the side and the front of that car, it was just destroyed as Swanson gets launched in the air, and then he ripped apart the catch fence. And yeah, that's why the red flag is out. That's one of the reasons why that's out. They're going to have to fix the catch fence. But on top of that, Paul Swanson, it's a very serious accident, and I'm very worried, and like all of us here, like we're all very worried here. Swanson has not gotten out of his car. Brandon Wood, Glenn Lafioska, they got out of their cars on their own power, and they're going to the infield care center. They looked fine, but As Brandon Wood looked a bit shaken up, but Brandon Wood and Glenn Alfioska, they were a bit shaken up, taken to the infield care center. They're expected to be okay. They didn't look like there's anything particularly, like, they didn't look to be in pain or anything. Paul Swanson has not gotten out of his race car. The safety crew, they're attending to the 00. And it's just seriously a very concerning wreck. And we are going to take a look at a few onboards here. First, we're on board with number 31 Pensacola Chevrolet of Nick Pericles. He was right behind us as it happened. And he saw that car get shot up into the air. And then he dodges the 9 to 67. He gets off scot-free. The other car we're watching is the number 60 of Paul Schneider. And he was right at the back of the field. He got a front row seat for this. Powers through, and he also had missed the wreck. Now look at the cars that were involved. First, we'll get Brandon Wood and Brandon Wood's perspective. And that car flew so close to Wood, it could have hit the roof. Luckily it didn't. A couple more. We're going on board with the number 9 of Kyle Schock Jr. And listen, he saw the 00 get launched, and he missed the initial hit, but he got tapped in the 67. He probably got off the best from this incident. And finally, 00 Paul Swanson. Well, the red flag is out. The cars are staying stationary as the crew fixes the catch fence. Paul Swanson, he has been removed. He has been extracted from the car. He's been airlifted to a local hospital, and no word on his medical condition at this time. But we advise for you to keep him in your prayers. That was a very serious wreck, and it definitely was not pretty. Probably one of the most violent crashes the Elite Series has had at this racetrack in quite some time. Probably one of the most violent crashes the Elite Series has had in quite a while. As I do hope he is okay. And we'll come back when the lights come back on the pace car. Well, 45 minutes later, the cars are getting going again, and we will be restarting this race on lap number 7 of 20. Alan Cavagnaro is your leader. Ellie Nelson is second. Stephen Jefferson third. Scott Roush fourth. Malin Adkins in fifth. Chris Magnuson sixth. And Lewis Duran is in the final transfer spot in seventh. And Fred Jones eighth. Jack Benton ninth. Pedro Hierra is in 10th. And pace car back in. Yeah, we do have, of course, we have to finish this heat race. Everything's cleaned up, and yeah, we do hope the best for Paul Swanson, but so we have a race to finish. So, yeah, the green flag flies again, and Alan Cavagnaro, what a jump from the 20. He caught the 96 sleeping. Like, there's not even a contest there. It's like he gained half a second almost immediately. Nelson botched the start, and now Jefferson takes advantage. He's been having some decent restart. He had a good start. So he's had a pretty decent restart as well. He's trying to draft the 20, but he's got to watch out for Scott Roush. Scott Roush won the IndyCar Championship in 2016. Scott Roush, he won it. I was like, Scott Roush, he's an IndyCar driver, pretty successful one. I was like, he is a former series champion. He won the title in 2015, and he's fighting for it this year in 2017. And he is looking underneath the 03. Roush has never run a stock car race. He has a lot of experience here. He's won here at this racetrack. The Publix Ford moves into second place, and he's going to try and chase down Alan Cavagnaro. As we've seen on the start of that race, Scott Roush taking no prisoners. You have to watch out for him as Jefferson tries to hold on, but he's got a very aggressive driver behind him. Yeah, you're gonna have to be very careful, because that's Allie Nelson. She doesn't move over for anyone, and she does not move over for anyone. She is not above pushing someone out of the way. Yeah, gotta be very careful there. Jefferson holds on to third for now. Adkins is in fifth. This is the battle for sixth between Lewis Duran and Fred Jones. Now, Fred Jones is a journeyman driver. He's raced short tracks all over the U.S. He's running the USSC and Walmart Cup Series. He ran a Daytona 500 earlier this year. And now hearing about how much this event's been growing over the past couple years, Fred Jones, he is interested, and he entered a car into this race. And he's looking pretty good so far. He might be able to make the race, although he definitely got pushed out of the transfer spot by Reese Black and someone we probably expected to be up front, Alyssa Kirby in a 99. Alyssa Kirby made this race last year and did score points. And of course, she is the defending Junior Series champion. Team owner William Duncan has intentions to move her up to a full-time ride next year. And she's looking to show just why she was picked by Duncan to be a future member of Team Thunder. And there's Steven Jefferson. He's lost a few spots. He's going to try and pass Madeline Adkins for position. Alyssa Kirby thinking about making it free wide, thinks better of it. Instead, she's just going to use the 03 to get past the 7. And now there's no car on the high side, she's going to push the 03 up the racetrack. And Fred Jones back there, Lewis Duran kind of slipping back. Jack Benton still hanging on despite the lack of power in his car. Same goes for Duran, actually, the 55, pretty underfunded team there. Ian Masterson Racing, like those cars don't have the best engines. Contact between Mark LaFerre-Veen and Madeline Adkins. His teammate and brother, Benoit LaFerre-Veen, did not get through the heats. He'll be running the LCQ. Mark's trying to get Trailblazer Motorsports into the feature. And as you can see back there, we've got Nick Pericles. Nick Pericles, of course, he's a series regular, not the best of years. Pericles had a pretty rough start to the season, but he's looking to make sure he gets in this race. He's maybe not made as quick progress he would have liked. He's doing okay right now. Oh, contact between the 55, 59-7, and the 60 dumps his teammate, and they both go off. And the 59 is in the catch fence as well. Another big crash as the yellow waves again, but another crash. Both the BMW Team Deutschland cars are trashed, and they're both going to be out of the race. Oh boy, that's going to be a very interesting team meeting. And I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that team meeting. That's going to be very awkward. Alan Cavagnaro still leads us down. Scott Roush second. Allie Nelson third. And Reese Black's fourth. Alyssa Kirby fifth. Fred Jones sixth. And Steven Jefferson currently holds the final transfer spot. Alright, well, here's a replay of the incident. Paul Schneider was looking underneath the 59. That's his teammate. Then you'll see here, Fitzwater is going to get into Madeline Adkins, the number 7 Samsung Chevrolet. He goes down to the 60. And then at that point, the 60 has nowhere to go. They're hooked. This is going to be a wreck. And Schneider's just trying to get off him, and he spins him around, and Fitzwater hits the wall, bounces up the track, takes the 60 with him, and they go up the track. And then there's the 7 again, and poor Madeline Adkins, innocent bystander in all this. The 59 gets shot up into the air, and into the catch fence. Luckily, this is not nearly as severe an incident. We have already got word that Fitzwater did get out of the car under his own power. He was visibly frustrated, very frustrated, but he is okay. Same goes for Schneider and Madeline Adkins as well. But that is a very embarrassing incident there for BMW Team Deutschland. And we'll be restarting with 4 to go. Cavagnaro still leads away, and that's Roush, Nelson, Black, Kirby, and yeah, it's like the running order has not changed. It's one more restart here. If the race, we don't do green white checkers in heat races, so if a caution comes out, the race is over. And another fantastic jump by Cavagnaro. He has been on point today. And Roush falls back. Reese Black is looking underneath the 96. He did not make this race last year. He's looking to change that. He's looking very good so far. Jefferson's gonna have to watch his rear view for Mark LaFerravine. And of course, for that 31, Nick Pericles trying to make up ground as fast as he can. But he's getting held up by the 57. He needs to get past him now. There he goes. He's gonna get there. He's gonna pass him. There, he passes him now. And LaFerravine's underneath the 03. And there goes the 57. Magnussen just turned him around. Another wreck. And Jefferson passed at the death. That move is going to get Mark LaFerravine into the Sony 400 as they're going to take the yellow. Yep, that was the pass for 7th. And this he's going to enter the yellow, and Nick Pericles is going to get shut out because of that. He's going to finish 8th. He's going to finish 8th, and Nick Pericles has to go to the LCQ. And that is the last thing he wanted. Bad luck striking again. He doesn't get the full. He is going to have to run the LCQ. But Steven Jefferson has got to be very frustrated. Came so close, and he's going to lose out right at the end. He'll also go to the LCQ. But first, let's get a replay of that wreck. Alright, well, here's that replay. You see Jack Benton here. Pericles makes a move on. You're going to keep an eye on that orange and black Honda of Chris Magnussen. Now, from what we've heard, Magnussen is an ice racer. So yeah, this is a very interesting thing for Magnussen to do. He's a very aggressive driver. You have to do that in ice racing. And you see here, he's gonna slide. Watch this. Yeah, he slides up. You push the car too hard. Yeah, you push it too hard. He pushes up into 57. They're going to make contact, and yeah, the 02 hooks the 57, turns him around, and I mean, this is Indianapolis. You just know this isn't going to go well. They both go to the track in the Constantine. Yeah, several cars get taken out in that. Yeah, on top of Benton and Magnussen, you have Alex Constantine and Kazuki Takamoto, a Junior Series alumni who's trying to make his Elite Series debut. But yeah, all those cars, heavy damage, and that's going to put an end to the race and their ambitions to get in, at least for now. Of course, like I said, they will be going through the last chance qualifier. They will have another chance, but a lot of these guys will have to bring out a backup car. And of course, because of the methods we're using, they'll be starting at the back as well. So this is the last thing they needed. But Alan Cavagnaro is very happy about that last yellow. No one's gonna be able to mount a charge on him, and he'll be cruising at 60 miles an hour as a car blows up right at the end. That's Timur Delise. Another mechanical failure for the number 62. He wasn't going to get it anyway, but that's going to hurt his starting position for the LCQ. And also, he is going to have to bring out a backup engine. But Neil crawling across the line. Alan Cavagnaro wins Heat 2. Reese Black is going to finish a second. Then it's Alyssa Kirby, Scott Roush, Allie Nelson, who will finally be making her first Sony 400. Congratulations to her. And the journeyman, Fred Jones. How about him? He gets in the field. The journeyman driver, Fred Jones, will be running the Sony 400 in 6th. And Mark LaFerravine, with that clutch move on the final restart, will get into the field in 7th. Nick Pericles, Steven Jefferson, Lewis Duran, Kyle Schock Jr. They fought hard. Schock Jr. fighting back after that early incident. But alas, they will have to go for the LCQ. The show must go on. We move on to heat number 3, where John Johnston has taken the pole on his outside as Marcus Bruno. Row 2, Princess Perkle, Seiji Nakajima, Freddie Maguire, Cinder Komori, Ryan Walker, the Jaculations, Kei Nagase, and Abdel Jabri. They're top 10, and there's your green. We're underway for the third heat. And right away, that ugly, very ugly car of Jaculations is dropping way back. I feel bad for anyone outside line. Free wide in the back. And look at that, he's getting forced up free wide. That's how much people don't want to deal with him. And now he's blocking both lanes of traffic. Christopher Bryant, he's trying to sneak past Carter Atwood, Henry Sanford, Baron Praxis, big names getting held up. And look at that, he can't take a corner at all. That car is just crawling around the racetrack And then, oh, Gall Redlick. Don't want to hold up Gall Redlick. That might not end well. And there it goes. Already almost down the last. Oh! Oh! Real Lucas! Real Lucas just dumped him into the pit wall. This is Real Lucas is a sports car driver. This is his very first lap in a stock car. And he just took that very annoying 669 car with its egg headlights and made some scrambled eggs with it. I mean that's one way to make your presence known. Here's a little replay. The 669 slid up, and you kind of see Real Lucas. I mean, he just pushed up, and not gonna lie, I think he totally intended to do that. He did not want to deal with any annoyance. And geez, ejaculation kind of slammed in the pit wall. I'm also getting shades of Pinky Louvier in 2015. She got dumped into the pit wall in one of her heat race back then. And it's happened again. This time it happened immediately, and just, yeah, Real Lucas just straight up dumped him. After the last heat, that is certainly a nice thing that happened. A nice bit of humor that happened there. I guess that was certainly an interesting choice there. I don't think Race Control's going to do anything about it, considering I'm pretty sure everyone knew that car is going to be very annoying to get by. They're probably going to have to lap him, and yeah, I don't think they're going to do anything. I don't think Race Control's going to do anything about that. So we'll just see what Real Lucas does during this race. Hopefully he doesn't dump any more cars. And upon taking the first yellow, Cinder Kamori loses the motor on the number 4 Mobil 1 Chevrolet, and just like that, the high voltage crew, they're gonna have to pack it up. Well, they'll be running LCQ, but that is their heat over. They couldn't even make it. They only made it 1 lap before the engine grenaded on them. Tough break for Cinder Kamori. John Johnston leading us back down to the green. It is insane to think about this, but Princess Perkle in the Dogecoin car is restarting in second, and I'm very concerned to see what she's going to be doing here on the restart. The Dogecoin car has some very powerful technology underneath, but that's Princess Perkle as the driver, and okay, that's already not a good start. She doesn't get a good jump on the rest of the field. Johnston's certainly going to be happy about that. Freddie McGuire, the journeyman there, and third place, Marcus Bruno, Kei Nagase, Ryan Walker, and PJ Williams, a returning PJ Williams, is in there. Look at that, Princess Perkle look for the lead! She's trying to take the lead from Johnston! Of course, John Johnston, that is a Dodge Motorsports prepared 06. That 06 car is a Dodge Motorsports prepared car. Princess Perkle looking for the lead. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Oh, she slides up! She almost gets in the 06! Oh my, wow! Princess cannot drive. This car has so much grip, and Princess cannot drive it at all. She almost wiped out the leader. However, that is giving the 06 a massive gap over the rest of the field. So I think they'll appreciate that. Marcus Bruno takes over second, but not for long. Here comes the Newcom driver of Kei Nagase, going past him for second, along with a couple of underfunded cars underneath. Look at that, Ryan Walker and PJ Williams. Walker, regular in Australian, racing regular in Australia. You see that's an unsponsored car. And in the 68, I mean, that's the brand new Sean McLaughlin Racing. They rose from the ashes of Blackstar Motorsports. And PJ Williams, not coming out. He had a pretty awful season. He had a pretty awful season last year. He got released from the Tauja Racing unit before the year ended. But this is a great track for Williams. He won the first Indianapolis race here back in 2014 before the Sony 400 was started. And he also won the Battle of Indy in the Slim Jim Series last year. So he knows this track, and he's going to try and get the underfunded McLaughlin team into the field. He's certainly trying to shake his old reputation, get some good results in. But how about Ryan Walker? He's looking underneath Nagase for second. And Johnston's just watching them. John Johnston, he technically did not make the race last year, but however, he was given the spot after one of his teammates withdrew, and the yellow flag is out. Let's see for what? Oh, it's for McGuire and PJ Williams' teammate Gall Redlick. And Abdel Jabri may have also gotten a piece. Princess Perkle already fallen off the pace. Tells you just how inept her driving is. It's good that she has not caused any wrecks, though, hopefully. Let's take a look at a replay. Alright, well, here's a replay, and I may have spoken too soon on Princess not causing any trouble. You're gonna see her. She cuts off the Furry Lumination car of Safe Nazar, and then, I mean, that unsells the 95, and look at that! Look at that, Galredilik is going, Galred's in a contact frame of guard, that's 3 wide! Princess hit the wall, and both the 16 and the 66 go around, and Jabri did kind of get a piece of that, but not a whole lot. But, yeah, Princess kind of just stacked up the field, and that's triggered a wreck. Both McGuire and Redlick will be able to continue on, but with damage on the race car, with damaged race cars, they likely will have to go to the LCQs. We'll be restarting lap number 13. John Johnston is your leader. Kay Nagase second. E.J. Williams third. Ryan Walker fourth. Isaiah Cordoval in fifth. Marcus Monroe sixth, and Christopher Bryant in seventh. You got Henry Williams, Baron Praxis, and Jessica Monroe around your top 10. Pace car is in. Johnston will lead them down. Oh, no he won't! He pulls the inside! He's got a problem! John Johnston, he's got a problem with the car! But he's not slowed. Green flag's out! He's on the bottom there. He's trying to floor it. He's trying to see if he can get anything. He's trying to stamp it. Trying to stamp Frog, get anything out of it. He can't. He's got a tire going down. Yeah, we're getting word. Oh, and he slides up almost. He almost merged into the field. And he's gonna pull that thing down now. He's got a flat. And that's gonna take Johnston out of contention from the lead. What a heartbreak for the Arkansas native. He was looking to get into the field. He really has such bad luck in these heats. Don't forget, someone filled in for him. That's the only reason why he made he was in the race last year. And 3 wide at the front! Contact between Bryant and Walker. Williams slides back. Henry Sanford almost made it 3 wide as well. It is an absolute mess back here. Ryan Walker gets away with second. Kay Nagase will inherit the lead of the race. And she's going to be pretty happy about that. But of course, she's still got to hold on for 7 more laps to try and get the Honda in the field. Honda looking to make their debut in the Elite Series. But here comes Christopher Bryant. You know him well. Had a breakout year in the Junior Series last year, and he's having another great year in the Junior Series. He's also running some IS races with Mach 3. He's running for the PT Cup. A little bit of a partnership there with RJ Manson to put Bryant in this car, and he is taking advantage of it. After 2 years of DNQing, he made the show for the Sony 400 last year. He's trying to do it again, and he looks fast. But look who has the fastest lap! Oh, 3 wide to back! PJ Williams, Bruno, and Cordoval, they went 3 wide, but they've worked it out. It is absolutely headache back here. This is probably the most dense pack of cars we've seen so far in these heat races. But what I was getting at is Real Lucas. You remember him from the start. He dumped the 669 car in the pit wall. Now he's shown that yes, he can drive a race car. He just didn't want to deal with him. Real Lucas is at the fastest lap of the race, and he is charging forward just like his Mach 3 teammate in Bryant, who's taking the lead of the race now. And look at that, he's fighting back against Connor Atwood. So this is a very impressive display from the Brit. He's gotten past the 33, and he's in a transfer spot. He's in 5th. Ryan Walker 6th, and Atwood just fell out of a transfer spot. Henry Sanford takes it away from him. Henry Sanford, he got the pole for a 400 last year, almost won the thing. But almost won seems to be a pretty common deal with him. But here comes Lucas. He is pushing he's pushing as hard as he can. He's gone past Nagase, he's past Ingrits. Now he's up to 3rd behind Baron Praxis. And of course, Baron Praxis always seems to do well in these big events. Of course, he strapped up for the one in 70 a week ago. He was doing that, and he made the show for that. He ran really well. He is known to thrive under pressure, and he's doing a great job once again. He might be looking good to make the show. He's in 3rd, but now Mach 3 runs 1-2 with the absolute blazing fast Bandai Namco Chevrolet of Real Lucas, and he's probably just going to draft with his teammate. There's no, he may want the bragging rights of winning this heat, but it would be much smarter to just draft with the 64. I mean, that's it. That's his teammate, so I don't think it'd show much resistance. Nagase getting away in fourth. This is the battle right here. Shrimp Ingress, who's never qualified for an Elite Series race. Marcus Bruno, who finished second here 2 years ago. And Jessica Monroe, the reigning Jessica Monroe, very successful IndyCar driver. Another driver who's won here in the past. She's fighting here, driving for Fingai Saitomi Motorsports, which is owned by Elite Series driver Jeffrey Fingai. This is their first event, and they'll be trying to make and she and her teammate Kyle Schock Jr. are trying to make the show, but she is slipping back now. Right, she got pushed up. Marco Rossi in the 75 also trying to make his debut and Mazda also trying to make their debut here. Mazda Speed Racing with Formula X driver Seiji Nakajima. 2 laps to go now, and Connor Atwood is in 8th. He is not in a transfer spot right now. But Henry Sanford, he's looking to get some insurance, and Barry Praxis looks on the 65. Praxis wants the second spot. He can't get it. No, Lucas shuts the door. Nagase runs wide, and Bruno under fire from Sanford, and Atwood going to take advantage. And I think he's going to take over 7th. And they're going to come to take the white flag. This is the last lap. Last lap of the race. Christopher Bryant leading away. Rio Lucas in 2nd. Baron Praxis 3rd. Kay Nagase 4th. That's Henry Sanford in 5th. Shrimp Inker at 6th. And Rio Lucas looking underneath his teammate. He wants to win this heat. He does not want to settle for 2nd. I think he feels pretty safe. So he's going to try and push for the win. I don't know if he can get it. He's looking underneath the 64. Henry Sanford's making a move for 4th, as there's almost contact at the back between Ingrid's and Nagase. But here's Lucas. He's not going to make it stick, but he's going to make it a Mach 3 Motorsports 1-2. Sofia Martinez maybe in the LCQ, but Christopher Bryant is going to win heat number 3, and Rio Lucas comes over 2nd. Goes from 22nd, he gains 20 spots. He started 22nd and he finishes 2nd. 1-2 finish for Mach 3 Motorsports. That's a very impressive performance from the Brit. Baron Praxis gonna make the show. Henry Sanford's 4th. Shrimp Ingress finally is going to make his IS debut as he comes home 5th. Kay Nagase will get Honda into the field of 6th, and Connor Atwood just barely squeaks by into the field in 7th. And look at Jessica Monroe. She's going to have to go to the LCQ. That's a big surprise there. But she will be starting on pole for the 2nd LCQ. Still probably a bit of a disappointment that she couldn't bring it home. And after a very exciting heat free, it's now time for the last heat race. And Kyoko Miyama, Kay Nagase's teammate, is starting on the pole for this heat. On her outside is the baby tribe of Jason Perkle. Row 2 is Dylan Young and Igor Polyakov. Then you have Ryan Acosta, who's got years of experience here. Matt McKay, who made this race last year. Jock Day Cook, Ben Thompson, a multi-time Formula X champion. Tommy Turbo and Carl Sanner taking his 3rd and final crack at the 400. He has yet to make the show for this race. So we'll just have to see if he can do it this time. Pace cars in, Miyama leads them down, and there's your green. And the final heat is underway. Miyama did not get a good start at all. Perkle actually got the jump on her. Miyama will get the lead off the first corner as you have to be on the inside line, but that was still Perkle definitely did not need. So that's definitely not good for Miyama. However, that car not getting going that well. She's already under fire from Dylan Young. Ryan Acosta, Jock Day Cook, they're both right behind. And you have to wonder what's going through Jock Day Cook's mind after the incident after that incident, because of course Paul Swanson, that's Day Cook's teammate. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Day Cook is going to try and push to get this car in the field for Ian Masterson. And there's that slow car in the back. Yeah, that is Mary Sue. She's not very quick, as you can see. Yeah, we're just going to not pay much attention to her. As you see, there is already heavy shuffling, and look who's already pushed his way forward. It's Ryan Manson. back again. Amazing start from the 32. I just cannot believe this kid. He's starting to back. I wasn't sure how he was going to handle that. He's already in a transfer spot. Dylan Young's pulled a massive gap. Tommy Turbo was almost considering making it 3 wide. And Yama battling with Ryan Acosta. She might be able to clear him. Nope, won't be able to do it. Yeah, Ryan Acosta, before the Elite Series, he was a long-time IndyCar vet. Moved over, he was trying to transition with stock cars in 2013. Moved over to the Insomniac Elite Series in 2014. And the rest was history. And, yeah, he's driving for Dodge Motorsports this year. It's not been a great season so far. Well, it's been a very quiet season for Ryan Acosta. Probably a bit better than last year, honestly. But here's Dick Cook. That Masterson car is pretty down on power, but he is pushing that thing up to 3rd. This is a very impressive excursion so far. Acosta up to 6th place. Is that 6th? Yeah, that's 6th place. Yama in the last transfer spot. And we got Joshua Hyatt, Brandon Barnes, of course, Barnes, the 18-year-old. Barnes is Barnes actually a lot younger than that. Yeah, Barnes is 17. He's trying to make his first Elite Series start. And yeah, we're watching a pair of Toyotas here. That's Tessa Matthews driving for Team Radiance. We've heard some interesting rumors about this team. Her teammate is not in shot. He's kind of there. You gotta look for a white front. There's the ice blue. It sticks out like a sore thumb. That's Shane Vincent. Yeah, there's some rumors going around that they may have picked up stolen equipment from Shell United Motors. These claims have not been verified. Ooh, Vincent pushing into the corner very hard, almost gets into Eli Bright. Yeah, so there's some dubious rumors going about these guys, but hey, Tessa Matthews having a pretty good run in their heat so far. Well, let's get back up to the front. It is Dylan leading the way. Ryan Acosta looking very fast though. He set the fastest lap of the race by 2/10. So he's definitely a lot quicker than the 2. Oh wait, never mind. Look at the lap time Ryan Manson just pulled. That is almost 3/10 faster than that. That was almost 3/10 faster than everyone else. What a lap! He is on the move. He is pushing that 26. And now he's going underneath. Dick Cook also looking very fast. But Manson is on a roll. Seriously, if you don't believe me when I say Ryan Manson is just an amazing driver, like, seriously, this kid, he's 18, came out of nowhere, and he is flying. He is so fast. I don't think anyone expected him to be this fast, especially his grandfather RJ was honestly not that successful a driver. Like, he had some IRC Cup wins to his name, but he never really found a lot of success. Like, never really found a lot of, like, major success. Ryan is showing the potential to be a future Insomniac Elite Series champion right now. Because seriously, he's not even a full-time driver, and he's pulling stuff like this. He is very fast, and yeah, I did make an error. Brandon Barnes is 18. He showed up to the 1 in 70 last year in a Red Bull racing car, and he was extremely fast, except he blew a motor and didn't take it very kindly as he plowed the car straight into the pit wall. Yeah, it was intentional, and yeah, Red Bull did not want anything to do with him after that. They were not happy with Barnes. However, Chris Levere, though, he saw a lot in Barnes. Yeah, he saw a lot of potential and thinks he can maybe rein that attitude in. I mean, Barnes is 18. He thinks he'll mature. And I mean, fair enough. So we picked him up, and Barnes is driving the #1 Works Dodge. And he's of course also running the Junior Series. Gotta mention Manson is doing the same. And we got battle for the lead here, Ryan Acosta. And he is looking on the 2. Manson is just He's a little bit behind. He's trying to catch the draft of these two, and them battling is going to help him. And any battling is going to help him a bunch. Look at the back. Carl Sanders in the back. And I got a few cars really struggling for pace. Yeah, Carl Sanders, one of them. Nathan McCain, Getson Moore, Slim Jim Series regular. They attempted this race last year too. It was Infinity Motors so far only Elite Series attempt, and they did not make the show. Dijon Weeks had a very impressive performance in Indy last year, but he's simply struggling for pace right now. And there's Perkle, he's dropped back. Niko Polyakov, he's not in the show right now. He's not even in the top 10 in this race. That is concerning. Jeffrey Finguy, he's only just in the top 10. Matthews trying to get a transfer spot, but Faber is in at last spot. Ryan Acosta really wants to win this heat. He's not really... You could argue this is not the smart move, not a smart move to make. He should probably stay in behind the 2 in draft, although I say that RJ Manson racing car has got some very good aerodynamics, and Ryan Manson is pushing that car to Kingdom Come. So, to be honest, I think you're screwed either way. That 32 is going to catch up. And he is starting to, he's starting to really get a whiff of their draft. That car is definitely picking up some pace. He's gaining temps every lap. You can probably tell he's visibly getting closer. DeCook kind of hanging back, Barnes 5th, Faber 6th, and Yama currently last transfer spot. And Tessa Matthews really trying to get that 85 into the field. Ben Thompson hanging back in 9th. He's never driven a stock car before. Obviously, he wants to make the field, but I think right now he's just kind of feeling it out. We've had some interviews of Thompson. He's stated if he likes it, if he enjoys it, he might actually consider a move. He might actually consider a move to the Elite Series full time. He hasn't considered it, but look who's caught up. Ryan Manson has caught the leaders, and Ryan Acosta going to take the lead by not for long. Here was a 32. Ryan Manson's caught up to the leaders, and now he's going to try and beat a leader. Oh, but for how long? Side by side down the back straight, but they're going to have to watch ahead of them because look who they're catching. The 999 of Mary Sue. And I see some damage. She's hit the wall. But there's a Ryan Manson takes the lead. Fantastic drive so far from the youngster. He's winged away. Dylan Young pushing the 42. DeCook and Barnes starting to enter the fight. As we're getting near to the end of this race, there is Mary Sue. They're going to catch that very interesting 999 car, and kind of held up the 2. Young had to check up, and that's going to help Manson pull a gap. There's DeCook and Barnes. This is starting very tight. We got a pair of young guns in this pack. Ryan Manson and Brandon Barnes, they're both looking set to make the field. He's got some very impressive driving so far. And Barnes is trying to push his way forward. Carl Sanders is struggling miserably for pace. He's just not got the setup right. He's passed 84, but that's for 18th. But the Manson cars have shown so much pace, but Carl Sanders is struggling in 18th. It's kind of hard to watch. He's got to go in the LCQ for sure. He just does not have the pace. But meanwhile, look at this. Kyoko Miyama is going to have to watch her rear view very tightly because look at that. 2 very fast race cars. The 50 of Ben Thompson and the 40 of Niko Polyakov. And Polyakov, he's absolutely does not want to lose out. He does not want to get set to the LCQ. And Brandon Barnes, he's up to 3rd now. Ryan Manson got to watch his rear view. Obviously, it's not a full points win, but I'm sure Ryan Manson still wants to win this race regardless. Dylan Young! Dylan Young's gonna spoil the party! And look at, he's frozen in the corner! Almost makes contact! But they keep it off. Brandon Barnes, he's gonna say thank you to that one, and underneath the 32 he goes. And now he's just going to wait for an opportunity to strike himself. Jock DeCook just hanging back. Well, I say it, he's actually starting to look underneath the 42 now. He's gonna push. Yeah, he's throwing it in there. Jockey Cook wanting to get him. He's trying to make a statement and get in the field for Ian Masterson Racing in the field. It's been a while, I'm pretty sure. Well, Masterson actually has made this show every year. They made it in 2015 with Ray Krager, although they went out very early. And then they made it again with Danny Everett last year, again going out pretty early. But it looks like they might make the show once again, this time with Jay Cook. As long as nothing goes wrong. Oh, look at that battle in the back. Miyama's been passed by Ben Thompson. So the Englishman takes the final transfer spot for now. The rule of the watches and reviews now. Polyakov enters the fight. And Ryan Manson not going down without a fight. He's immediately going back towards the lead. He's going to get past Ryan Acosta for second. As long as he can clear him here. Of course, the outside can work. You can get some nice momentum off the high side, off of 4 there. And you're going to need the draft. Oh, look at Tyler Faber. Faber's caught up. He's entering the fight now. Faber making sure he can make the field. But Manson, he's not built to clear the 42. He's gonna give another crack. Ooh, I think he gave him a little nudge. But Brandon Barnes is loving this. But that's out helping him open the gap. Cook not gonna let Faber take the inside. Thompson, Polyakov hanging back there. And Manson takes second. So the Young Guns. The Young Guns running 1-2 right now. And that's going to be the way they run as they take, when they reach the white flag. Ryan Manson already breaking away. He's trying to catch the one as hard as fast as he can. He doesn't care it's a heat race. He's driving at 100% all the time. But look at this, Polyakov make a move for Sims on the final lap. And Polyakov just took the transfer spot. He's gonna pass Faber for 6th. Polyakov safe. Miyama throws it in. She's gonna try and pass Faber. She's right there. She's trying to do it. Polyakov already making moves, and Manson pushing as hard as he possibly can. Miyama could not make the move to stick. And Manson trying as hard as he can to catch up. He's gonna come up just short. This battle of the Young Guns is gonna go to Brandon Barnes, the car number 1. Brandon Barnes, he's gonna win heat number 4. Wow, what a battle! And there's some young future talents here stealing a show in Heat 4. Ryan Manson finishing second. I know he wanted that win. You saw how hard he was pushing for it, but I think he'll take making the show. I'm sure you'd love. I'm sure you'd love to become the second youngest winner of the 400. He's only 18 years of age, like they mentioned. Ryan Acosta will be racing on these hollow grounds once more for the full event. Dylan Young 4th, Polyakov, nice comeback to 5th, and Jockey Cook will make the field for Masterson, and Tyler Faber holds on to 7th. Miyama, Ben Thompson, and Eli Bright round out your top 10, though, of course, they will have to go to LCQ. And the field is rolling for the first of the 2 last chance qualifier races. Only the top 2 finishers out of the 34 here will be able to run the Sony 400. Angel Navarro will be on the pole. Nick Pericles on his outside. And you've got Carl Jasper Jr., Steven Jefferson, David Valzak, Louis Duran, Danny Everett, Kyle Schock Jr., and William Brock and Pedro Hierra are rounding out your top 10. That is your top 10. Navarro, he had an impressive performance in his heat race, came up just shy of making the field. He's got another chance here, but so does 33 other people. There's the green. We're underway. And a good jump from Navarro. However, Nick Pericles, Carl Jasper Jr. not so good of a start, and that opens the door for Nick Pericles to get right in behind him. And Pericles is going to take advantage of that. He's immediately going for a lead. Good start from Nick Pericles. He's had a lot of poor luck this season, and he is looking to not have. It'd probably look pretty bad if he didn't make the race. Kind of be the epitome of a bad season. A lot of times your title hopes are kind of dead if you miss this race, because this is basically the most important race of the season. It is double points. You got to remember that. And yeah, Pericles knows that. Carl Jasper Jr. gets away into the second position. And Jasper Jr., second generation driver. And of course his father is Carl Jasper, the owner of the famous Carl Jasper Racing. And Carl Jasper Jr., he spent a few years in the Walmart Cup Series. And he and the famed Griffin Brothers Racing are taking a crack at the 400. But Navarro's under fire from David Valzak. Now Valzak, he's never raced at this. He's never been able to make the field for a race at this track. He's DNQ'd this race every year. This track has just been the bane of his existence, and he's trying to prove everyone that he does belong in this car. But then you look behind, there's Danny Everett. Came up just short of making shy of making the field in the heat race. He's trying to get in the field. This is Danny Everett's best track. He's trying to make a statement to people, and he does. So this is pretty important. This is pretty important for him because this is his best track, and he does not want to DNQ. Of course, he's got a lot of work to do. Valzak trying to find his way around Navarro. Navarro he's trying to draft, but he's struggling to make up any ground. Yeah, he's falling back. Carl Jasper Jr. playing things smart. That's like he's young, but he's playing things smart here. It's like he's playing things smart. He's just drafting behind the 31. Yes, he knows it's a smart thing to do. He's pulling him away, and these top two are starting to break out from the rest of the group. Now look at the back. Here's two fast cars starting in the back. Ooh! Oh, that's very tight in the back. Almost a wreck between Lafioska and Martin. Glenn Lafioska not showing a lot of pace in that Audi so far. But I was going to get two fast cars starting the back here. Mark Colbert and Brandon Wood. They both had issues in their heat races. And they're trying, so they got a lot of work trying to make the field. Wood did not make the field for the 400 last year either. Mark Colbert won his heat race. It's a very drastic difference that he's struggling to even get into the show. This is a very important race for a lot of people. Yeah, this heat race is very important, but the gap continues to grow between the 31 and the 21. Danny Everett is continuing to claw his way forward. He's now behind the one young motorsports car that's not in the field, William Brock, in the 22. Brock, he's shown some pace in his heat races, but he's just not there yet. He needs to get into the field. Absolutely needs to get in. But it's going to be a bit tough with that 56 looking on him. Coming back straight now. Everett, I don't know if he's going to be able to get it. Will Brock be able to clear? Everett slides up a little bit. Brock clears for now, but Everett's going to try again. Valzak, Wilhoit, Martinez, they're all catching up. And Everett now clears the 22. And Navarro's still kind of broken away from the rest of the field. Once again, Angel Navarro in an underfunded 000 car is impressing. If he doesn't make the race, honestly, he's probably one of the most. He'd probably be one of the most one people that deserves to make the race the most among the DNQs, because he's honestly punched far above his weight in that car. Very impressive stuff from Navarro. And Everett, he's cleared. David Valzak fighting as hard as he can. Martinez definitely want to watch out for. She kind of struggled in her heat race. This is the first time she's ever stepped into one of these beasts, but it seems like she's starting to get comfortable with the car like her Mach 3 teammates were, as after all, she set the fastest lap of the race. And she has to watch her rear view for series regular Tristan Wilhoit, who is also trying to get into the field. He's not had a lot of luck here at Indy. He's looking to change things, but Everett, you can visibly see just how much he's fighting forward. He's trying to get past Navarro. And look at that slingshot. He's not going to make a move yet. Navarro just kind of slipping back. That's not really any fault of his own. And Wilhoit got into the 63 almost. Pushing that car very hard. And here comes Everett. Trying again, but he doesn't have any drafting help. I don't think he's going to make the move. Stick. Oh, he really pushed in the corner. He pushed Navarro up the racetrack, and that's Everett up to third. Yeah, that may open up the floodgates as Navarro's going to drop several positions. He's to try and get himself up there. But now Danny Everett has to draft. He has to try and just draft to get up there, because Pericles and Jasper are doing. This is a very good strategy from these two. They're just drafting each other, and it's helping them pull a big gap, and it's going to be a bit hard. A bit hard to beat that. Danny Everett, he's going to. He's up there now. Danny Everett's going to need something to happen. He's a little too far back to draft, and here goes Martinez with the slingshot on the 45, and another big dive. She pushes Valzak up the racetrack. And Navarro, Constantine, Duran, Wilhoit, they're all hanging back there waiting for something to happen. Listen, Everett, I think he might be a little too far back to actually catch any draft from the 21. Could be a bit difficult for him to catch up, especially when half the race is gone. But Valzak, he might be able to clear Martinez here. Oh, he cuts her off! And there goes the 45! Into the wall! Oh, he might go back down the racetrack. Oh, he's backing up! No, don't do that! Don't do that! Oh! Big crash! Massive crash in the back! A massive multi-car pileup is struck, and that's going to be the yellow that Danny Everett needs. Oh, but David Valzak, he cut off the 63. He was driving very aggressively. I think it tells you just how much he wanted this thing. He was getting desperate. Absolutely did not want to miss the show. And he tried. Yeah, he did not want it. He just did not want that to happen. He did not want the 63 to get by. Tried to block her, and there was no room. Alright, well, here's a replay of what happened. You can see David Valzak. See Martinez trying to get on Valzak's inside. Valzak he did not want the D&Q to race again. He really wanted to make a show. He was desperate. He moved over. He cut her off, but he wasn't clear. So he swept across the bumper. Martinez gets into her, and around goes the 45. And he hits that wall a ton. Almost, the car tips on its side. He almost rolled it over. And, well, I mean, at that point already, his hopes are done. He's hoping to trash with heavy damage like that, he's not going to get anywhere. But then he doesn't pay any attention and backs up. Honestly, part of me almost wonders if that was intentional, just out of pure frustration. But honestly, I'm not sure. I think it was just him not paying any attention. And there's Jack Halleck, nowhere to go. Several cars involved. See Boudreaux, Holbert, Jack Benton, Chris Magnuson, Austin Sanders, and a bunch of cars in the back. I think DeLeese may have missed it. But Kelly was involved, so was Alex Perkle. Basically, all those cars are done. And Mark Holbert, what an awful Indy weekend for him. Last year, he won his heat race. This year, he finishes last in his heat race, and he's wrecked out in the LCQ. So Mark Holbert, he's not exactly the world on fire. It's been a very disappointing season for him so far, and that's just the cap on a disappointing season for the 5 thus far. See, a tough break for all these guys. They will more likely than not be missing the show. If you're worried about the condition of those drivers, don't worry. Everyone involved got out under their own power. Yeah, David Valzak, he's fine. Well, physically he's fine, but he was absolutely just, he was livid. And I wouldn't be surprised if part of that is him being mad at himself, because that move most certainly cost him, and he's going to miss Indy for the 4th year in a row. He has never made the field for Indianapolis, and it's definitely not looking good. There have been rumors that Team Thunder is going to put him on the hot seat because he's been struggling that much. Like, David Valzak has crashed out of almost all of his races so far this year. I've heard they'll give him the European Tour and evaluate his performance there. We'll have to see, but enough of that. Let's get back to the race at hand. We're back on the green. 5 laps to go. And Danny Everett, like I said, that's the restart he needed. He's right there. And he's going to make the move on Jasper. And that's the battle for second. That's for a transfer spot. Side by side into 3 and 4. And there he goes. Danny Everett in the second. Now all he needs to do is just play it smart and draft off the 31. He does that. He might be good to make the field. He's so close. It's been a very close call for him, but it does look like he might be able to get TRU. He might be able to get 2. You might be seeing 2 TRU cars in the field. Of course, Fedor got through in our heat races, and now some of the guys in the back. Look at that, Brandon Wood finally starting to make his appearance at the front, but is it too little, too late? Meanwhile, you can see Angel Navarro. That finally struggled to finally hit some issues with the car there. It's a bit of a shame. He's dropping like a rock. Not a good restart for a 000. As Angel Navarro, he's fought very hard, but that car is just hurting him at this point now. And Tristan Wilhoit, he's very close as well. But Everett, if there's one thing the TRU car has going for it, it's aerodynamics or just straight line speed. The handling has been very bad this year. That car drives like a boat, but the TRU is still very fast, a straight line, and Everett's utilizing every bit of that speed. And he is breaking away from the 21, and yes, he is playing it smart, just drafting of Nick Pericles. Nick Pericles absolutely dominated this race. Unless something happens, he will be home free. He's only got to make it 2 more laps. 2 more times around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and he will be free to go to race in the Sony 400. And there's Sofia Martinez. She's come very close. She wants all 3 Mach 3 cars in the field, and she's so close. She could make it happen, but she's not able to do it yet. She's trying to finally pass Carl Jasper Jr. It's like Jasper, he's just drafting, and nobody's really pulled out of line. So it could be a bit difficult to make a move. So you got a 4-car train coming to take the white flag. Nick Pericles and Danny Everett. They only need to make it around 1 more time. Martinez is really hoping something's going to happen right about now. She wants to get in there, but I think it might be too little, too late. That 56 is just too strong. It's not been the season Everett's been winning. He's been trying to make a statement. He's trying to impress people, show people that he can drive this car, that he belongs in a series, and he will make it into the field behind Nick Pericles, who dominates the last chance qualifier, and he will make the Sony 400. Danny Everett will join him, coming home in second. Carl Jasper Jr. and Sofia Martinez, very close, but no cigar. They'll be sent home. Tristan Wilhoit and Brandon Wood. That's the 74 split car project has been a disaster, and this is just a cherry on top of that. Brandon Wood will be missing. Brandon Wood is going home. And he'll probably not be happy about that. He's not be happy about that, that's for sure. Alex Constantine, William Brock, Medwalla Faravine, and Louis Durin round out your top 10. Congratulations to Pericles and Everett. Two very fast drivers. And Everett was Pericles dominated, and Everett was fighting his way forward all race, and they will be joining the field for the Sony 400. Now for the second LCQ, Jessica Monroe and Kyoko Miyama will be your front row. Then it is Marcus Bruno, Ben Thompson, Marco Rossi, Eli Bright, Ryan Walker, Matt McKay, Seiji Nakajima, and Jeffrey Finguy, your top 10. Pace car is in. Jessica Monroe, first time in a stock car. She almost got into the main. There's a green flag. It's time for the last race. The last race before the big show. The final race before the field is set. So Jessica Monroe, first time in a stock car. She almost got into the field into the feature for the heat races. Came up a little short. She's gonna try it. She's gonna try and win the LCQ. Get Finguy Saitomi Motorsports in the field. This is their first attempt at a large scale stock car event. So she obviously wants to make some magic happen. And look at that, she's already pulled out a big gap. I've mentioned it a few times. You lose a lot of time when you're battling side by side, and yeah, I think it really just shows right there. As Monroe is she's already pulled out a half a second lead. Although Marcus Bruno now starting to pull out, and so is now Marcus Bruno's out in the line, and so is Marco Rossi. Marcus Bruno finished second here a couple years back. He would love to get this car into the field. Right now, there's only one Boost Auto Sport car in the race. David Valzak wrecked his car, so obviously he didn't make it in. Bruno, once again, Baron Praxis is in the field. Eli Bright in fourth. There's Seiji Nakajima in the Mazda. He's having a good start. And behind him is the Nexus Motorsports car of Jonathan Dwyer. Free wide in the back. Matt McKay and Saif Nazir. This is the Ferdy car. They got together. They settled it out. Matt McKay, he also made Indy last year and did very well. It was a fantastic start there for PJ Williams as well in the McLaughlin car. Starting to drop back now. But as I said, Jonathan Dwyer, the Nexus car, he made the field last year for Nexus Motorsports. He wants to try and do it again. Or at Mazda, they've never. This is an R&D car. They've stated that they will be back at Auto Club. They're just trying to gather data. They have intentions to race. They want to try and strike a deal with a team to race full time in the Elite Series next year. So yeah, this car is really just for R&D purposes. I'm sure they would love to get into the field for this race though. And Ryan Walker, of course, looking pretty impressive so far in fifth. That's a pretty underfunded car. But back, Jessica Monroe. Marcus Bruno now right on her tail. He's been catching up these last few laps. And you have to wonder when he's going to make a move. No, but he's hanging back right now, but... there's a wreck! Yellow's out for a few cars, but that is Tommy Turbo, Getson Morin, Freddie McGuire all around. And that's a yellow. First yellow of the race. And that's exactly what a lot of these guys back here needed. They need this breakaway to be stopped. So that's definitely good for a lot of these people. Not so good for the front runners, of course. All right, here's a replay at what happened. Look at this, 3 wide, way in the back, and Getson Moore pushes up into the 77. And he goes up the track in the McGuire, and they all hit the wall and spin out. And Princess Purple, somehow with a very expert avoidance. So she can't take a corner, but apparently she's amazing at missing wrecks. Princess Purple is an enigma. And, yeah. I think she kind of speaks for herself there. Yeah, tough break for those guys. Those cars have some damage now. They're going straight to the back. They're going behind the 669 and the 999. You see those two go by. So, yeah, their hopes are all but finished. Going back to green, lap running 9 of 20, so we're about halfway through this race. Jessica Monroe is in first. The second transfer spot goes to Marcus Bruno. Marco Rossi is third. It's Eli Bright, Seiji Nakajima, Jonathan Dwyer, Matt McKay, Jeffrey Finguy, Ryan Walker, and Ben Thompson, your top 10. Pace car is in. Monroe needs to nail this restart. And here we go. Green's back out, and she does. Good restart from the 58. Bruno, on the other hand, he was caught sleeping, and already he's getting jumped on by Marco Rossi. Rossi now moves into the transfer spot. Nakajima and Dwyer take advantage. They're going to go by the 43 as well. Or at least Nakajima is. You know, Matt McKay, Finguy, Walker, Thompson, they're all drafting back there. Thompson's going to push Walker out of the way. And as he tries to get his way up the field. And now I see Carl Sanner and Shane Vincent entering the picture in the back there. At singles for PJ Williams. Almost 3 wide there. Eli Bright may have been looking underneath. He needs to get up there. Nakajima and Dwyer, they're trying to draft, and there's a car in the pit lane. That's Kyoko Miyama. Miyama in the pit lane with issues. We don't know what's wrong with that car, but whatever it is, her hopes of making the race are done. So that's a tough break for the young Japanese driver. At least one of the new comms are in the field, but still it's a bit unfortunate. Ooh, Nakajima, looking underneath the 75. He's probably gonna try every which way he can find to get underneath him. Because Nakajima he's a Formula X driver with a reputation of being extremely aggressive, and he's caused a lot of wrecks in his time. He's considering making a transition to stock cars, giving this a go. He said if he enjoys it, he will consider making the switch on a full-time basis. And he's pushing that car hard. He's trying to get into the field. But look at that, Finguy and Thompson right behind him. Of course, Nakajima's raced of Thompson, and they've had some collisions. but yeah, Monroe, however, looking very fast. She's got a big gap on the rest of the field. But that's not gonna mean anything. The yellow is back out. Sorry, we're gonna have to back it down again. It's a big wreck. Jason Perkle, Nathan McCain, Dejon Weeks. He had a very impressive performance in the 400 last year. He won't even make the show this year. Miyama, she got back out on track, but the car is wrecked. Mary Sue, she's involved. McGuire, he's been involved. That's the third wreck he's been involved in today. And it will be the last. Joshua Hyatt also wrecked along with several other cars. This was a massive wreck. Alright, let's take a look here. We're centered on the number 3 Griesberger Chevrolet of Carl Sanner. You're going to watch as he makes a move on Joshua Hyatt. But look, that black and white Toyota of Gal Relic is there. And he was ready to dive in that corner. He wasn't expecting the 3 to be there, so he pushes him up. And then the 3 and the 01, they lock fenders, and into a wall they go, right in front of a bunch of cars. And this is where the madness unfolds. You see, there goes the 0 round. Shane Vincent barely squeaks by. Princess Perkle with another great wreck avoidance. I don't know how she keeps doing it. Then Barricade goes back up, and look at this. Look at that big pile. And the Volvo, the back end gets shot up into the air. And then here comes the rest of the field piling in. Freddie McGuire, nowhere to go. He gets into more. And then there's Kyoko Miyama. She had just gotten back out on the racetrack, but she's going to get involved in this as well. You're going to watch here. It's the 08 of Jason Perkle. He backs up at an inopportune moment, and there you go. Heavy damage on the 07. But yeah, that's a tough break for those guys, especially Miyama. Like, that is an awful luck. Mechanical failure, comes back on the track and immediately gets wrecked. But yeah, that was a big crash. And wait, what's she doing? What is she doing? She's pulling up. We didn't see this live. She's pulling up in the 01. Oh, you're kidding me! She just pulled up the racetrack. What was Miyama thinking right there? Wow, we did not see that live. Dejon Weeks just plowed his headlong into Mary Sue. He was not paying attention, and that is, Boy, that's not what the Weeks wanted at all. But we're going to take another look at that because that was uncalled for from Miyama. Okay, we'll be looking at this live with the data up. So we'll be watching Kyoko Miyama here. There she's involved. I'd rather make a note of it, but look at Nathan McCain just plowing through it full throttle. I wanted to make note of that because I saw it. Yeah, Nathan McCain just showed no fear. He plowed for that wreck at almost full throttle, but he could not avoid what was coming. I don't think he could have expected this. There she goes. I'm pretty sure she pulled dead up the racetrack. Let's get an onboard angle of Joshua Hyatt. And yeah, that's clear as day. She pulled right up the racetrack. There is no sugarcoating that. Kyoko Miyama just did that on purpose. That is not going to be a very popular move for sure. Yeah, that was utterly blatant, and I'm sure Race Control's not going to be happy with that. Tough break for a lot of these people, and Miyama is clearly very frustrated. She's already had a mechanical failure, and she gets more damage, but that's not an excuse not an excuse to wreck other cars on purpose. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Race Control is gonna give her a stern talking to. Now we're getting cars rolling once more. Following that mess, there's now 5 laps to go. Jessica Monroe is your leader. Marco Rossi is in the final transfer spot in second. It's Nakajima, Fingai, Dwyer, Thompson, McKay, Bruno, Williams, and Bright, your top 10. So only 5 laps to go before we get the field set for this race. We've determined 40 cars of the 42 car field, and now we're only 5 laps away from determining the final 2. Green flag back in the air. And Monroe not nearly as good a restart this time. Jeffrey Fingai with a fantastic jump. He's already underneath the 35. I know Fingai does not want to miss this race by any means. He wants to get in the field, and he is right on the back of the 75. Rossi going to be watching behind as he may want to try and make a move on the 58 now. He just might want to take an opportunistic dive into the corner. No, he's not going to have that chance. Here comes Fingai. The 92 is the challenge for second, and look at Thompson. He almost swiped across the 35. Nakajima's right there. He's gonna get past the 75 now. He's up to third. Fingai's going to escape with second though. So Jeffrey Fingai, so Jeffrey Fingai and his car, his team might get into the field in the LCQ. But it is a scramble back there. Almost free wide. McKay gets into Rossi. McKay is pushing. Look at him. McKay is absolutely not playing nice to 75. It is crunch time now. It's time to it's just do or die time. And Matt McKay, definitely one of those people who is pushing the car well beyond its limits. He's trying to get in the field. He knows he's running out of time. Ben Thompson, he's so close. He knows he could get into this race, but he's running out of time as well. There's only he's only got 3 laps left to get into second. Jeffrey Fingai, he's not going to let that happen. And he's playing it smart. He's just drafting his car. He's just drafting the FPM car. We have Jessica Monroe working together for car owner. And it's really working. Those two have started to pull a gap with the rest of the field. But that monster Mercedes car is pretty fast in its own right. So Ben Thompson could catch them. Matt McKay is still trying to push his way forward, but he wasn't able to move on to 35, and that's going to put an end to his hopes. Right there, Eli Bright's going to push the 83 aside, and that's it for McKay. He's probably not going to make a show. John Johnston, he's finally entered the fray, but he's just started way too far back. The yellows hurt, definitely hurt him. And it's just going to be too little too late, I think, for the 06. With Thompson creeping ever closer. And Finguy is actually getting a lot closer to the 58 as well. But I think he just knows he's just trying to get as much of that draft as he can. That's his car, the Shell United car. It's not the most well-developed car. Like they're still pretty small. But the white flag is in the air. He needs to make it around one more time, and he'll be in the show. His teammate DJ Curtis made the field in the heat race. I'm sure Finguy would have liked to have gotten it in the heats, but I don't think he cares as long as he's in the race. Let's get that one more time. Thompson just sticking behind, drafting. He's trying to catch up as quick as he can, but I don't think he's going to make it. Jessica Monroe. Jessica Monroe is a very successful IndyCar driver. She's had some great results here, and she's going to make the field for the biggest race here, the biggest stock car race in Indy. Monroe wins the second LCQ, and her car owner Jeffrey Finguy comes home in second, and they will cap off the field of 42. Ben Thompson comes up just shy. It was a good performance, but just not enough. Marcus Bruno misses Indy for a second year in a row. Nakajima misses out. Finishes 5th. Brighton 6th. Marco Rossi 7th. John Johnston, you know he's going to be frustrated about the mechanical failure in his heat race, because if that didn't happen, he wouldn't be in this LCQ. He would be in the field. Matt McKay finishing 9th, and there's Abdel Jabri. He comes home in 10th. And with that, all the heat races and the last chance qualifiers, they're all done, and in the field of 42 cars, that will contest the Sony 400 has been determined. So now all that's left is for those 42 to take to the track for the feature race, 400 miles of racing at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for one of the fastest growing stock car races in the world, and the most important race of the year.